Grunt Gaming here, bringing you a discussion on Xbox One, and we're going with two real different topics here. Uh, Xbox One games to kind of stay away from, looking at exclusives, and then we're going to talk about Xbox One Year One games that are still worth playing 4 years later now.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So started off, we're going to talk about the ones to stay away from. And this is actually a game we both agree that you should stay far away from when it comes to exclusives, and that would be
Rise, Son of Rome.
yes. Rise Son of Rome is not a great game by any stretch of the imagination. I,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it had a lot of cool ideas, and I love learning about Roman history. I think a lot of people do. It's fun playing it, but it just did not
The
live up to that hype.
the historical context in the game was impressive, and the set pieces that they had in each different levels and areas was really impressive, especially at the time. This is considered 4 years ago. This is right when this is like the first IP on Xbox One. So it was impressive to see it, but the core of the game itself was so flawed in terms of combat, where the combat from you learned everything in the first level, and the combat was so repetitive all the way to the end. It felt like you were really just controlling a person in a very linear path,
It
like a
never
movie.
evolved, and it just kept shoving those quick time events down your throat. And like, it's cool. They were real flashy, real cool, but after my 38th time pressing X for slashing this guy's throat, I was ready to kind of slit my own throat. I was kind of done. I was done.
Yeah, how I see it is it kind of killed the idea of bringing a single player game really far back into ancient history, and kind of killed it before it ever got a chance to start by doing that. And it's unfortunate
Just
because I was really excited to be able to experience that, and I thought that was kind of the new direction that some games would go in, going a little further back in history than most have. But it got caught in it itself preyed too much that it would be carried just by the fact that it was set in a different time period. But the mechanics, like we said, were so flawed that it just couldn't work. I mean,
No.
but at this point right now, I don't know how much it costs. It cannot be expensive. So like,
no, it's probably it's probably like $10
yeah.
at a bid
So
somewhere.
if you are really interested in playing a game for some like,
Shits and
Roman
giggles.
history and some like just mindless combat, yeah, is it worth $10? Sure. Would I have ever paid $60 for it if I knew that game was like it was and I played a demo?
No.
Not a chance. Not at all. Even if that was the only game that was out with the Xbox One, I'd be like, I'm gonna wait till a little later. I'll play
Later.
Dead Rising or something.
Yeah, Dead Rising 3. I'll keep it that. So all right. So we both agreed that Rise Son of Rome was a game to stay far away from unless you want some shits and giggles. What is a game you would recommend that came out in the first year of the Xbox One?
Hands down, and your choice as well, but for me, hands down, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Now, this is the exact opposite of what Rise Son of Rome was. This is a game where it rewarded the player for choosing whether they wanted to be stealthy or guns blazing, but both approaches were very viable
With the perk system. Yeah.
with the perk system, but very viable with each approach to all the levels, and really rewarded the player for being kind of tactical with their approaches and thinking out how they were going to go about the level and planning their kills and whatnot. And so not only that, but just the story itself is such a true resurrection of the Wolfenstein series, and is really the true reboot that it needed. So I think that game, and now is, I mean, they had sales on these Wolfenstein games
It's like $5.
Oh my god, they're so cheap. So like that is, I think, as of right now, the best deal on the Xbox store that you can get for your money because
But,
of how much fun it is.
I did love that the combat in Wolfenstein, because like
Yeah.
it let you really plan out, because like it was simple enough in the idea that you'd go into this new area and there'd be like officers to kill, and until you kill those officers there'd be reinforcements. But how you do that is up to you. So you could go in, stealthily kill all the officers and then guns blazing the rest of the time and have fun with it. Or you could go guns blazing and just try to mash your way to the officers or stealthily kill everybody. That's what I usually did because the throwing knife was, one little throw in your foot, you're dead.
Yeah.
But I love that shit. But as far as you say, best value for Xbox One, I'm gonna argue that because my game I think is the best value.
Uh huh.
Because my game that is I still recommend playing from year one is the Master Chief Collection, coming out only like 3 days before year one was over, so it's really cutting it close. You get 4 games, 4 multiplayers, actually 5 games now because Halo 3 ODS
Add that in.
5 campaigns, 4 multiplayers, Spartan Ops with Halo 4. I think you get so much bang for your buck.
Well, not
from
only that,
Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, but it's not even just like a flat collection. Like they also remastered Halo 2
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, and
That
they
alone
have,
is probably worthy of $60.
and they have Halo 1 remastered, and you could both those versions you could flip back and forth between the remastered and the regular graphics wise.
Press of a back button.
Yep, and it works really seamlessly, and it's really awesome because not only do you have all these great campaigns and great stories and great multiplayers, then you have the history of gaming kind of put before you. You have Halo 1, what made console shooters, all the way to Halo 4, what is 343 Industries' first take. And Halo 4 might not be the best Halo game, but you do have Halo 3 in there, what in my opinion is still one of the best games ever. So
Yeah, well, basically with this collection, just to put it plain and simple, is you get the evolution of
console
sci-fi shooters
Yep.
right there in front of you. Over the years, you get to see what drove the gaming community in what kind of direction, because Halo was certainly at the helm of that, in my belief.
For a long time.
And really drew in, at least I think, really drew in a lot of players from other genres to come in and try it and play it. And so it's absolutely, I agree 100%, absolutely worth any amount that it is.
And I bet
now.
it's real cheap now.
I don't know, yeah. I mean, if Wolfenstein: The New Order is still $5, I still might have to go with that if Master Chief Collection's like $30. But there's no doubt that
These
Master
two
Chief,
games are perfect choices.
yeah, no doubt.
You're looking for a cheap game that's going to provide you with a lot of fun, both Wolfenstein: The New Order and Master Chief Collection get a firm stamp of approval.
Yeah, very firm. And my only concern would be in figuring out if you were interested mostly in multiplayer, which I mean they have every single Halo multiplayer map now that ever existed, along with custom maps and stuff. But
Yeah.
I would just want to make sure that there is still a community there. But I will say this: you won't have to deal with the servers not working.
Yeah,
On day one. That was a
is-
very big letdown when you were
that-
so hyped.
Yeah, it took almost like a year for the servers, but they work now, so
They work beautifully.
we won't
now.
get into that too long. We kind of already summed it up. Any other closing comments?
I guess my only closing comment would be just a continued word of advice on the fact that if you did just get an Xbox and you want to start trying some games, or if you've had one for a while but you got it a little while ago and you didn't get to try the year one games and you're thinking about them, these are absolutely, no doubt, 10 out of 10 worth your time to try.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. We have played a lot of Xbox games in year one. Not everybody can play every game, but we've played a lot of them. And these are the 2 best ones, in our opinion, that you could possibly play from year one. So, if you're looking for something new and different, these are definitely a good place to start.
Agree 100%. All right, Exotic Grunt Gaming, Ben, Devin, we'll see you guys next time.